It has been quiet all day. I literally set my camera on my bed and someone pulled out a weed whacker. Hi guys, it's Misty from the Book Rat, and I figured some of you may not want to deal with a lot of Austen posts this month since it's Austen in August, and that's pretty much what all of the videos this month are going to be. So I thought I would try to go ahead and work in some videos that aren't about Austen. I know last month I didn't do a July anticipated releases video. I just didn't have time, and I don't know if I'm going to have time for August, but if you want one desperately, let me know and I will try to work it in and maybe do some honorable mentions of July releases. But regardless, today's video is going to be a quick August, possibly into September TBR. Now, as I mentioned, Austen in August is going on right now, so the amount of time I have to really devote to reading it's dicey. I am still reading every day. I don't intend to stop because I'm not giving up this streak, but it might just be small doses, so I don't know what I'll get through. I definitely won't get through this entire pile, and these are really just kind of potentials to pick from because I don't know. Most of them are books that have just shown up in my mail. They're not ones that I bought or requested or agreed to review. I don't know whether I'm going to want to devote any time to them or whether I'm going to like them, and I'm in one of those moods. So it's kind of a potentials TBR, but I'm going to get right into them. All of the books I mentioned are going to be listed and linked in the info, so you can find all of them down there. But here are the books that I'm maybe going to read in August. And they're going to look real familiar because they made up the bulk of the last book haul and the last TBR. So from the last TBR, I had talked about maybe reading Imposters by Scott Westerfeld in July, and I just didn't have time. Correction, I had time. I ended up reading a lot of Jane Austen things because once I started, I couldn't stop. Rereads of things. It's not like I needed to spend the time on them, but I couldn't help myself. And then the other one from that pile is The Boneless Mercies by April Genevieve Tuwalke. This one comes out in October. This one comes out in September. So ideally, they will probably be read either this month or next month, kind of, you know, this late summer, early fall time, so that I can talk about them. This one, I really can't wait to get to this one. This one just showed up in my mail, and I loved the Ugly series, which is a spin-off of, so I probably will read this one, but again, it's not like I have an obligation to, so we'll see what happens. But both of these are carryovers from last TBR, and both still want to read them. This next little chunk of books you saw in my most recent haul, so it's going to seem very familiar. Again, some of them are ones that just showed up, so I'm going to give them a try, and if they don't, you know, hold my interest, then I will abandon them and move on to something else. But 3 books that came from Page Street Publishing. So the first is Uncharted by Erin Cashman. This one comes out right at the beginning of September, so if I do kind of rank them priority-wise, this one would probably take precedence. And then After Image by Naomi Hughes. Again, this one comes out in September. The last one being The Freedom Trials, which comes out in October. So these 3 books I don't know a ton about. As I said, they just showed up, but I'm definitely going to try to give them a try in August and see, you know, if they pull me in, if there's something that I want to devote some of my precious reading time to. Who knows? We'll see. But they each sound interesting in their own ways, and I am pretty curious about Uncharted. And I have a few things that I have agreed to feature in some way in the coming weeks, so I need to take a look at them so I can feature them. Some of it's just an excerpt, so I don't have to read them in order to do so, but I'd like to have a little bit of an idea of what the book is like before I kind of go promoting it, I guess. So to that end, The Raging Ones by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I actually have read a pretty sizable chunk of this one, which wasn't my intention. This is the one that I was just supposed to share an excerpt of, and I thought I'd maybe do a first impressions of, and then I started reading it and kind of couldn't stop, so I probably will go ahead and finish this one. And another one being Sadie by Courtney Summers, which I've been seeing everywhere, and everyone is praising to the high heavens. So again, I was only supposed to share an excerpt, but it might be more. I was also sent a copy of Smothered by Autumn Chickless, which I'm curious about, and again, I've been hearing good things, but it's one of those things I feel like I'm really gonna have to be in the mood for, and I haven't been in the mood for yet, but I do need to at least look into it very soon. Also The Assassination of Brangwyn Spurge by M.T. Anderson. I talked about this one recently. It turns out to be a much thicker book than I thought it was going to be. I am supposed to be featuring it in September, so I need to kind of delve into it a bit this month and see what kind of feature that will be, whether it will be a review or first impressions or whatnot, but goblins. So I am actually pretty excited about that. This one is a definite, I think, for this month, even though it doesn't come out until October, just because it will be something quick to get through, although I might have to put it off because I kind of want to read what came before it, even though I don't think it's dependent on it. And that is Lost Soul Be at Peace by Maggie Thrash. Now, this is a graphic novel memoir, and it follows on the heels of Honor Girl, which I haven't actually read. So if I can get my hands on Honor Girl, I want to read that first. If I can't, I don't think it's the end of the world, but I'd like to try. And then lastly, for the sort of features coming up, is Nevertheless We Persisted, which is not short stories, but essays and things like that. It says 48 Voices of Defiance, Strength, and Courage. This one comes out in September as well, and I will be featuring it then. It's one of those types of things where I probably won't read cover to cover. I'll probably pick kind of piecemeal and get an idea of it, and then just read through as things call me. So I guess that's kind of my approach on it, but all of those are either potentials or things that I will definitely be at least looking into, just kind of dipping into in August as I have a chance. But beyond that, and I understand that that's a very big stack, I don't want to fall back into the habit of only prioritizing and featuring review books and things that are getting ready to come out, partly because I just don't want that to be all I showcase. You know, there's a lot of great backlist stuff, which is why I've been doing backlist love, but also because it just doesn't make me happy. It starts to feel like work, and I start to feel a little bogged down in it. And when I stopped taking on review books towards the end of last year and only reading things that I already owned and that I loved, and occasionally reading something that just randomly was sent to me, and I wasn't agreeing to take on things, I wasn't requesting anything, which I hardly ever request things anyway. I was only reading whatever called to me, which is obviously ideal if you're a reader, but not if you're a blogger. It made me a lot happier, and I started reading more, and reading things much faster and much more enthusiastically, and I don't want to lose that. And I know choice and the lack of the lack of obligation is a big part of that. So even though there are a lot of books here, and I probably almost definitely won't get through them all in August or even September, kind of want to just pick a couple random things off of my shelves too, but I have literally no idea what. I'm in that kind of mode where you're spoiled for choice and you want to read everything, and you're like, oh, this and also that, and this looks great, and you just can't, you don't even know where to begin. You don't know which direction to go because you're like in all directions. I'm kind of like that right now, so I literally have no idea. Before I started this video, I thought I knew and was going to go ahead and pull some books off my shelves, and then when I started looking at my shelves, I was like, oh, but maybe that. Maybe I want to read this. Oh, maybe I don't want to read that thing that I thought I wanted to read. So I don't have a clue. I really don't have a clue. Maybe I'll do some kind of viewer's choice in another video or on Instagram or Twitter or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll flip a coin or roll a die, just randomly pick something, finish a book, and see what's calling me in that moment. I don't know. But if you have recommendations, things that you want to push on me, feel free. I kind of feel like I'm in a fantasy mode. Partly I think I'm in good book hangover right now, which I don't get a lot, because normally when I read a good book, I want to immediately read more good books. But every now and then you read something good and you're like, oh, I do not want to leave that world and those characters. And I just finished Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, and my god, I can't think about anything else, and I don't know how I'd pick up anything else. So I think I want something that kind of slightly fills that gaping hole that I now have in me. So maybe some like epic fantasy or something along those lines, something along the lines of Naomi Novik. I don't know, but I want it all. So there you have it. That is what I maybe going to be reading in August or for the foreseeable future. Maybe some more things will be worked in. Maybe a lot of this will just be shunted off to the side as I decide that I don't like it, or I've had enough of it to kind of talk to you a bit about it, and that's all I want to do. So we'll see. I guess this one's a little bit up in the air, but I have a lot of options, and that's nice if you don't have ooh shiny syndrome like I do. So we'll see where it goes. But as I said, everything is listed and linked in the info box, so you can find out more about all of the books down there. If you have recommendations or you're reading something amazing this month that you want to let me know about, please do in the comments. But that is all for now, so until next time, thank you guys for watching and happy reading!